Hey, how you doing? Today we are going to go over some really valuable fundamental stuff, how to strip wire and prepare it for soldering. This is something you're going to be using forever and ever. We're going to end up with something that looks nice and amazing like that. And we're going to start out first with this really simple stranded wire, single conductor. We're going to use tools like this wire clippers or wire strippers. We're going to use this handy dandy helping hands tool. And soldering. We're going to go over just kind of a setup basics on some soldering. This is single conductor wire. It's stranded wire, and we use it for our ground wire at the shop. And we're going to strip away the insulation using this wire strippers. There are definitely nicer ones out there. These are really totally average. You can see there's different size holes in the jaws there, and that's so that you could strip away the insulation around the wire depending on what size wire you're using. But we're going to find out that those holes don't really mean a whole lot, even though they're designed to be accurate. But on a tool that like this, it's not super accurate. In fact, there's some wire gauges written on the other side, but we're going to ignore those. We're going to go kind of by feel, which means that I'll put the wire in the jaws like that. I'm going to strip off that much, and then I'm going to kind of, instead of clamping all the way down, I'm going to just kind of like grab it and give a little tug, and let's see what we get here. All right, so this is what you want. So I've stripped away the plastic insulation. Let's try it one more time. There we go. So kind of depending on what the insulation is made of and how sharp your wire strippers are, that may go a little bit faster or slower, but take your time with it. But that's what you're looking to do. Okay, now the next thing is, let's go something a little more challenging. Here's a stereo cable, left and right, RCAs. This is what we would put on a Technics. And you can see that each of those wires has two conductors in it. You'll see a core surrounded by a layer of insulation and then a layer of copper. So the core is the hot, and the copper is on the outside is the shield or the cold. So we got two things to contend with here. We got to first go with a larger diameter cutter, and we're going to cut away the outside insulation, but we got to be careful we don't squeeze too hard. So let's just nip it. We're going to nibble it. Check that out. And then I pull away, and this is what we're looking for. So we've exposed the shield, and I'm going to move the shield out of the way, and hopefully if I did a good job, I didn't damage the internal stuff, the hot wire. So there we go. So the inner conductor, I should call it, is intact, and it still has its insulation around. I'm going to just move the shield out of the way and give it a twist to make it nice and easy to work with. So that's looking good, and we'll come back to that later. We're going to do something special with that later, but right now, let's now strip away the inner wire. You can see it compared to the other one, kind of what I did there. All right, so I'm going to maybe go a size or two smaller than I used before, but I'm still going to just kind of like nip it and pull, and there we go. So you can see I've stripped away the inner insulation, and now the inner conductor is exposed. And because those are just a bunch of strands of really teeny wire, I'm going to give them a twist, make them nice and easy to work with later. So on the other one, I'm going to show you something that might happen to you. This is what happens if I just squeeze way too hard on the wire strippers. I'm just going to clunk, grab down on it, and pull away. Oh no. What did I do? It looks like I cut away most of the shield that I meant to keep. And I also cut away the inner insulation, so that's no good. So clearly that's going to be trouble. We can't work with that because the wires will short out. Probably half of the wire that I need, I accidentally cut away. So what happens when we do that? Well, it's not too bad. Hopefully, if that happens, you'll have a little extra room because we're just going to nip off the end just like that. Okay, so let's try again. I'm going to go a little softer this time. And boom, there we go. So again, that's more like what we're looking for. So you can see the shield is in good shape. I'm going to move it out of the way and give it a twist. All right. Looking good. We're halfway there. So now let's check out the other one. The inner conductor, and same thing. Awesome. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Give it a twist. We'll come back to that. Now, unfortunately, now I got kind of a problem because now the other side is too long. So I am going to kind of start fresh so that you can see this one more time, and also so I can get some even chords. I'm just going to nip the end just like that. And now you know what to do. Away goes the outside insulator. These are Mogami gold cables, by the way. Really like using these. Nice and high quality. Very flexible. So we're going to twist up that exterior shield. Get the other ones a little tidy. And now, once again, we're going to strip the inside. And now, this isn't too bad. I kind of went a little long, so let's cut some extra off. And the twist happens. Oops, you can see I got a wild hair right there. So let's get that trimmed off. And you'll want to do this. You kind of want all of your strands to be the same length. You don't want any just kind of randos sticking out there, because you'll see later that actually makes it a little harder to work with. So there we go. We're going to come back to this.